Assalamu alaikum, children. Welcome to class 9 biology. Children, today we are going to learn the mind map of the chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. That is the chapter of our textbook. That is the chapter of first term. And the name of the chapter is chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life. So let's see the mind map. So first of all, here the cell. What is cell? So children, cell, we know that it is the very basic, it is the fundamental unit. It is called known as the structural and functional unit of living organisms. And all living organisms are structurally composed of cells. Means जो भी cells हैं, जितने भी organisms हैं, they all are made up with the cells. Now, on the basis of the number of the cells present inside the organism's body, organisms are divided into two types. Either they are the unicellular organisms or they are the multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are those organisms those who having a single cell inside their body. For example, amoeba, chlamydomonas, bacteria. Whereas the multicellular organisms having the large amount of cells present inside their body. And so they are called as multicellular organisms, for example, plants and animals. Now, according to the basis of the nucleus, that either the nucleus is properly defined or not well defined, on the basis of that, organisms are divided into again two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are those who having present the genetic material present inside the cell, but that genetic material is freely present inside the cell. It is not bounded by the nuclear membrane. Whereas the eukaryotic cell having the very well defined nucleus with the proper nuclear membrane. Now, here we have to see the two different kinds of cells, that is plant cell and animal cells. They are actually the type of the eukaryotic cell. So children, plant cell in which cell wall is present. So due to the cell wall, a cell has a proper shape, defined shape, having the large vacuole to store food, waste material, etc. Plant cell do not have centrosomes, and they have the nucleus lies at the side of the cell. The nucleus is not present inside the cell. Whereas let's compare to the animal cell. Animal cell is generally smaller in size than the plant cell, and they do not contain cell wall, and as they do not have cell wall, their shape is also irregular. Golgi bodies are present, and centrosomes, lysosomes, such organelles are present inside the animal cell, whereas they are absent in plant cell. Another thing, plastid is present in plant cell, children, but in animal cell, plastid are absent. This is the all the things that we know, that we have learnt in our previous classes. Now what we have to learn in this chapter? Structural organization of cell. That cell is made up of what? So children, remember, whatever the cell is, either it is bacterial cell, animal cell, plant cell, each and every cell has three components. The first one is plasma membrane, which is the outer covering of the cell. Second is the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like fluid present inside the cell. And third one is the nucleus. So let's see structural organization. First of all, outer boundary we can see. We all having the boundary at our homes or at the buildings. We can say the outer boundary, or we can say the boundary wall. So children, what is the function of the boundary wall? So boundary wall protect our home from the temperature, wind, rain, etc. In the same way, plasma membrane and cell wall are the boundaries of the cell. Plasma membrane is present in each and every cell, but cell wall is only present in plant cell. Remember. Now, the plasma membrane is known as cell membrane. It is also known as selectively permeable membrane. Why? Because it only allows some of the material to enter inside the cell, and also it allows some of the material to leave the cell, or we can say to exit outside of the cell. It does not allow all the materials to, yes, come and enter and go and exit. No. It only allows some of the material to enter inside the cell and exit outside of the cell. That is why it is known as the selectively permeable membrane, or it is known as the semi-permeable membrane. It makes the transport of substances by the process of diffusion and osmosis. Now, cell wall is a tough and non-living outer covering of the plant cell. It is mostly made up with the cellulose. Now, the cell wall permits the cells of plants, fungi, and bacteria to withstand much greater changes in surrounding medium. With the plant cell, bacterial cell, and fungal cell also have the cell wall. Now, the second is nucleus. What is nucleus? So, it is the known as the control center of the cell. As brain controls our body, in the same way, nucleus is known as the brain of the cell because it controls all the metabolic functions which are occur inside the cell. Now, what is the function of the nucleus? So, nucleus having the genetic material which help in inherit the characters from the parents to offspring. Now, if we are going to learn the different parts of the nucleus, so nucleus have the double membrane nuclear envelope, then it having the round spherical bodies present inside the nucleus, which are called as nucleolus. Nucleolus are called as factory of ribosomes, where ribosomes are formed, and chromatin chromosomes are present inside the nucleus. Now, the next is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the fluid, it is a jelly like fluid which is present inside the cell. Now, what is the function of this jelly like fluid? So, children, I'm going to give one example to you. For example, in one factory, there are different kinds of units, right? In the same way, cell is compared as one factory, and in that different units are present which are called as organelles. So the function of the cytoplasm is what? That all the different organelles are present in this jelly like fluid which is called as cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is the fluid, it is the fluid that is present between plasma membrane and the nucleus. Now, which are the different cell organelles are present inside the cytoplasm? So, let's start with the ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types of ER, SER and RER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. They both having the different function. The main function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is to synthesize proteins, and to function of the smooth ER is to make lipids, oils, fat, etc. Now, next organelle is mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell because it generates energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. The third organelle is Golgi bodies, or we can say Golgi complex, or we can say Golgi apparatus, which is firstly discovered by the scientist Camillo Golgi, and on the name of that, the name of the apparatus, the name of the organelle is given. It is the membrane bound vesicle and which helps in the packaging and storing of the different molecules present inside the cell. Also, it helps in the formation of the lysosomes, which are called as waste system of the cell. The next is lysosome. Lysosomes are also called as suicidal bags, and they are the waste disposal system of the cell. Then plastids. Plastids are only present in plant cell. They are absent in animal cell. They are chromoplast, colored plastid, chloroplast, that is green plastid, and leucoplast, that is colorless plastid. The green color of the plants and vegetation is because of the chloroplast present in them, and different flowers, different fruits, different vegetables having the different colors, all the colors are due to the chromoplast. And last organelle is vacuoles. Vacuoles are the empty bags present inside the cell. They are called as storage bags. They are storing either the food or the waste material. And remember one thing, that vacuoles are small in size in the animal cell, but they are large in size in the plant cell. So children, this is the mind map for the chapter number 5, in which we had completed all the different parts which we have already learned in our regular classes, that is in the biology classes.